You will be signing an affidavit. This is a promise you're making to me that you're not going to drive. If you do, every single time that you do, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand me? Anyone to pay it, you will be stuck like Chuck in there until these cases are over with. Do you understand?
Yes, I am.
A DWI, and an assault on a family member. Mr. Guzman's day in court starts off rough as judge drops the charges like a hammer. But when alcohol, open containers, and a jealous rage collide, the courtroom tension skyrockets. Buckle up and hit subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.
You are here, Guzman?
Sorry.
Mr. Guzman, you're charged with 2 cases. You're charged with assault of a family member. You're also charged with driving while intoxicated. On the assault case, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. And on the DWI, you're facing up to 6 years in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. On April 29th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, a law enforcement officer observed a vehicle with an expired registration and initiated a traffic stop. The law enforcement officer made contact with the defendant driver and observed a strong odor of alcoholic beverage. The defendant admitted that he had an open container of an alcoholic beverage in the back seat and admitted to drinking 2 to 3 beers.
While driving?
It's not clear as to when the drinking occurred. I'll check further in the dim summary. The law enforcement officer found an open 16-ounce Miller Lite can, half empty and cold to the touch under the driver's seat. The law enforcement officer observed the defendant to have unbalanced and a strong odor of alcoholic beverage. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. A 4 out of 6 on the HGN, a 1 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and a 1 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The defendant consented to providing a breath sample and blew a .112 and a .111.
Okay, now we have an assault, right?
Yes, sir, that one is open. And we need
Whoa. Whoa, so that was an open case.
Listen, Judge? That one was a open warrant for a few months. A non-arrest.
Okay, do you mind reading me what happened on the assault, please?
Absolutely, Your Honor. On March 1st, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, officers were dispatched to a family assault. A law enforcement officer met with the complaining witness who stated that the defendant is her ex-boyfriend. The complaining witness stated that they got into an argument over the complaining witness's inability to make him a sandwich. The complaining witness tried to stop the defendant from leaving, but the defendant closed the door on her hand. Later, the complaining witness was holding her child when the defendant bit her, causing bite marks and a bruise. The complaining witness stated that the defendant has assaulted her before, but she never reported it.
Mr. Guzman, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case on both cases. I am ordering you can you look to see any prior DWIs, please?
Yes, Judge.
I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I would think that it's freaking elementary that you're not to have alcohol in the car while you are driving. I am now taking away your privilege to drive. You are not allowed to drive for any reason. I don't care where you have to go. I don't care what you have to do. I don't care that you have to work. I don't care if there's a burning building and you have to save 50 kittens. You get into a car and drive. You will be signing an affidavit. This is a promise you're making to me that you're not going to drive. If you do, every single time that you do, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand me? I'm also finding that there's probable cause to go forward on your assault case, and I'm barring you having any contact with this complaining witness. There is a protective order that has been issued in this case. Get to know it, because if you do something to violate the protective order, the state can and probably will file additional charges against you. A violation of protective order, and that is the capital murder of misdemeanors. Mr. Guzman, I'm going to protect every single person in this county, whether they're on the street, whether they're on foot, whether they're on the house. And if you become a danger to my community, I only have one place for you. And I don't know who you have in this life, but if I put your bond at 10 to 20,000, if you don't have anyone to pay it, you will be stuck like Chuck in there until these cases are over with. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Any prerogative, yes?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Guzman, do you have the ability to hire a lawyer? I can have you fill out an application. I need to know everything about you. How much money you have coming in, what you're doing, what kind of car you have, any kind of retirement. I need to know everything about you, and then we'll take a look to see whether you qualify. Don't be a danger. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You get no more warnings. All right, Deputy Moran. Where's your cousin?
Okay. 256-1688.
You get it?
I thought the Marcus.
Vasquez, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you are Kevin Vasquez.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Vasquez, you're charged with failure to stop and give information. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you. Okay,
Yes, Your Honor. On April 14th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, law enforcement officers assigned to a follow-up investigation for failure to stop and give information. The complainant advised law enforcement officers that the defendant pulled out of a parking spot and struck the complainant's vehicle in a Chick-fil-A parking lot. Complainant advised that the defendant left the scene without providing any information. Law enforcement officers went to the Chick-fil-A and found surveillance footage of the incident. Store manager stated that they recognized the defendant as one of their store employees who was on shift that day. Store manager provided the defendant's contact information. Law enforcement officers arrived at the defendant's residence and spoke to the defendant's mother, who confirmed the defendant had been driving the motor vehicle that day, but her husband was the registered owner. Defendant contacted law enforcement officers, provided his Texas ID and insurance information, and admitted driver of the motor vehicle on the date of the accident. Defendant stated he drove out of the parking lot and felt an impact, did not see anything on the ground, so he left and went home. Defendant stated he did not call the police or file a police report.
okay. Can you run his license, please?
Yes, Your Honor. And one other thing, Your Honor, we did get a damage estimate back, just for the damage purposes.
Oh, how much? Right.
$5,000.
But
we've.
yeah, we've talked about that, Judge, and we've watched the video and there's a lot of pictures of the
I mean,
damage.
it always depends on the car.
That's exactly correct.
Lambo.
That's why. It's an Audi, but it's a 2013 Audi. So I don't know, and it may be. So we'll figure it
I
out.
think we'll be able to.
Insurance?
I'll find out. I don't know if he has insurance, but I'll
So
find out.
according to the DIMS, the defendant had turned his insurance information over to law enforcement. I'm going to talk to the complainant, see if there was anything filed, and maybe we do something with the deductible.
Sure. Do you see if he has a license?
Yes, sure. I'll.
You're not allowed to drive, Mr. Vasquez, unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name. That is a part of your bond condition. If you pick up another case, if I find that you're driving without either, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, Judge. It's eligible, Your Honor.
Okay. You have a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with Marcos, and he'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. So do you mind filing those conditions and then we'll sign it? We're going to have conditions for you to sign. Once you sign the conditions, after that, you'll be free to go.
You're right. That's just no driving without a valid Texas license.
And no insurance, right? So we need a bond because it's in warrant status now. Roxanne, do you mind giving me a PSR? And do you want the cause number? You have it? Okay. I don't know if I see anything. If barring no criminal history, I'll set the bond at $100. I'm going to give you a PR bond now. But like I said, you will not get any more. This is your one chance. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Are you still employed at that Chick-fil-A?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so he's gonna have a ton of paperwork to sign. We'll have you go to Victoria Sign and Resit now. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions, then you have to meet with Roxanne for your PR. Okay, thanks, Mark.
Two defendants, two warnings, one courtroom thunderstorm. From biting his ex over a sandwich to fleeing a Chick-fil-A crash, these hearings show judges have zero patience for excuses. Law and order doesn't play nice here. Like, comment, and subscribe for more real-life courtroom chaos and shocking justice moments.